before we really get started, if you're watching us on YouTube and you're seeing the video version of the podcast, I'm sorry that my hands are extremely fucking crusty. I've been painting all day.
Do you think? Okay,
I'm trying to hide them.
Give this shitty camera too much credit because like this is not that great of a camera.
Yeah, but like if you see them and you're like, who?
Yeah.
What is on her? I like literally been trying to pick it off, and now I'm trying to hide them because it's disgusting. But I've been painting my kitchen, so
yeah,
take your judgment away. But also, if you didn't know, we have a video version of the podcast on YouTube at Society 97, and you can go watch it and
go subscribe to the YouTube because honestly, like that is where like we really, really would like to grow a lot is over on our YouTube. And so like even if you'd like watch the podcast or you listen to the podcast on the audio version, if you have a Gmail, like just go subscribe. Like even if you don't ever watch it,
like support. And also
please
and also we post vlogs every Tuesday, so
yeah.
you're not just getting the podcast, you're getting other stuff from us, some more content.
I'm so thirsty for your subscription,
very thirsty. But also we wanted to thank you guys so much for last week. You guys were amazing. So many people who we've talked to already through Instagram and like DMs and stuff like that. And
also shout out to all those people because like we are so small in compared to like the grand scheme of like what we're trying to do. And so like the fact that there are strangers who take time out of their day like to consistently send us messages about like anything or even just interact or even just follow our personal like that's so cool.
It is really cool and we appreciate that. But then also a lot of people last week came out being like, hi, I'm typically a silent listener, but like I would like to say thank you for this and that, and like I really resonated with you, which is a very sad thing to have to resonate with last week's episode.
I know that kind of like broke my heart on TikTok, whereas like people commenting it's like the same thing happened to me, and I'm like, I hate that we share that.
I hate that we share that, but thank you for like really like I don't know, like resonating with the episode. Like I think that that's also a really cool thing, even though it's under sad circumstances, but like it still is a very unique thing that Emily and I are trying to build for this community, is to have that like safe shared space. And like whether it's good or it's bad, no matter what it is, like the fact that we have that community in our listeners is amazing, and we can't thank you guys enough. But the amount of messages we got last week was probably like the most we got ever from an episode, and it was really cool to interact with you guys, and just thank you. Like we're really thankful for you guys. But yeah, if you ever want to shoot us a message, you can do it at our Instagram, which is at society97.pod.
Yeah, and we read everything. So like
everything.
We've gotten emails, we've gotten DMs, like there's nothing that we don't see, because we are at this size, like that's one really good thing about it, is like nothing kind of slips through the cracks, because like we don't have hundreds of messages that we're getting every day, so like we will see it, and we definitely appreciate it.
Yeah, you guys are amazing, so thank you. We just want to put a little love on you guys before we get this episode started. I'm gonna say it. Have sex with a Scorpio.
I could glute bridge your dad.
I'm naked, hold on. We will be flicking the beans to that.
But she's tatted and I take meth. Is somebody in your house right now?
But you know what? Fuck your ass.
Yeah, I had sex last night.
You can make your own money. You can literally have your own job of your dreams. You can own your own house. You can own your own car. You can pay all your fucking own bills. So what is that man? That man is sex and a best friend, and that's it.
I heard nothing but the truth.
Anyway, this episode is kind of a little rendition of last week's. We're going to kind of keep it going a little bit of like, still a hate train on men.
Yeah, because also I have
but
to
it's
say
like the
this,
funnier way.
Yeah, and even today, like the weather's kind of cooling down a bit. It's like slowly transitioning
it feels like fall in Nashville
to like cuffing season.
Oh,
and so this is more of like a reminder of like
we're not cuffing this year.
No, men are still trash, and like even when you're quote cuffed, is it that much better? Even
when the temperature's going down a little bit and you want a little cuddle, get a cat.
Literally, like I don't know.
Find yourself a Leo. Like literally. I don't know. Like he's really cuddly. He was cuddling me last night. Lots of kisses, and he's cute. He wakes you up in the morning, whether you want to be woken up or not.
Yeah, and if you're like me and you're allergic to cats, like just get like a squishmallow or something. Like I don't know.
Yeah, there's options.
Yeah,
but also
you can also get a pet moss. I was thinking like that might be a good pet for me.
I really hate that right now in this moment I'm having deja vu, and like you even saying that, because that's like a very random thing for you to say.
Oh, have I said this before? Maybe I have.
I don't know.
I think I have.
There's a lot of deja vu happening.
Yeah. So I there's this one TikTok creator that I follow who is like so niche. Like she's like an artist, and she sells like her art or whatever, but she has like this like desk set up in her house, and it's so aesthetically pleasing. Like it's like soft lighting and like, I don't know, super cute. And then on like the side of her desk, she has this like fish tank looking thing that she turns on every start of her video. And it's her pet moss. And it's literally just like balls of moss in there. And then she like sprinkles some sort of food. I don't know. You feed it like algae or some shit. I don't know. And then like they just sit there in the water. It's like, it's so cute. And I was like, maybe that's what I need.
Low maintenance, like to the nth degree. Like you don't do anything really. You just make sure the water's low. That's like, even easier than having a goldfish.
Yeah, and then I think what you can do as well is you get a snail and you put it in there and it cleans it for you. So like you literally don't do anything.
That's kind of cute. I feel like you would have a pet snail,
right? I think my apartment though, I keep it too cold to have any animals that don't have fur. Because one time I had a hamster when I was in college, and like we almost killed it because we almost shocked it into hibernation because it was way too cold.
Yeah, that kind of makes sense. But anyway, it is beautiful in Nashville Day. Like honestly, I was really debating just open up the windows, cracking them open a little bit. But the problem is that my brain was like, it's still August here.
Yeah, it's like really weird.
Like it's cool, but it's like a little bit. It's like a heat.
It's a little too hot to open the windows full.
Yeah, but like I was thinking about it because I was like, wow, it's beautiful outside.
It's so nice.
So anyway, that goes into this whole little thing we got going on. I saw a TikTok the other day about a woman talking about getting, and now I keep forgetting the name of it, and Emily remembered it.
A shut up ring.
Yeah, a shut up ring. I was gonna say a pity ring, and I was like, no, that wasn't right. A shut up ring. So basically, this is when you get engaged, and the only reason the man is getting engaged to you is because he wants you to shut up. And there's multiple reasons and how
there's so many layers of just like wrong with that.
Yeah, but there are also a lot of telltale signs as to like why or how or to notice when someone gets a shut up ring.
Yeah, I think the first one is like what the ring looks like.
Oh, I was about to say that. If you got some Super Bowl ass looking ring.
Wait. We have to just say like these are our opinions, and if you have this type of wedding ring, we don't think any less of you, but
your man picked it out.
But also like but what if that's what they wanted? Cuz some girls really like that double halo look. Listen. It's just not for me, okay? And it's my opinion, and it's my name on the show, so sorry.
If I'm not gonna lie, we love it for you, pop off queen. You got the ring you wanted.
Also, we don't have rings, so like,
so who are we?
We're just haters at the end of the day.
Honestly, we're being haters for this whole episode. But let me tell you something. If a man gave me a double haloed ring, I'd have to say no. Because you know nothing about me. Because like literally,
I think that's what it is. It's like, it's not that I don't like it's not that I would say no because of the ring itself. It's like I would say no, or I would just be kind of disappointed because like I feel like you didn't even care to like ask me what I really liked, or you don't even know that like that's not something that like I would want.
Yeah.
And okay, I think before we get too deep into the shut up ring whole thing, I do want to kind of spiral a bit into like just man jewelry, like jewelry that men buy women. It is so clear every time the jewelry that a guy picks out. And I don't know why though, like what in there, like, and this is just such a universal experience I think all girls have. It's like we all have received some stupid ass like infinity symbol or interlocking heart or like something weird that it's like, but what possessed them to buy that?
You almost feel like sad if you don't wear it for them. Like I remember my high school boyfriend got me like a heart necklace from like K Jewelers that had like a diamond in the middle of it, which like, and it wasn't as bad as like a lot of them that I've seen, but like I felt like I had to wear it every single day.
It's just very grandmother looking.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't, but the thing is like, where do they see these? Because nobody wears these. Like in popular culture, that is not a thing that people wear. So what inspires them to buy that, and why do all of them get the same thing?
I feel like most women don't want to have that jewelry anyway.
No,
so
never.
Like,
that's why I don't understand like what is inspiring them to get that, and why did they all pick out the same thing?
I feel like because to them it's like ooh, since it's a heart, it shows I love her.
It's symbolic.
Yeah, I think, and like, I think men who like actually like you and want to be with you and like pursue a relationship with you, like typically would like want something to be like more symbolic than just being like, oh, I got you this random thing. So I think for them, it's like they think into it.
Yeah, but maybe think a little less into it.
I think maybe you can think about getting me jewelry, but maybe go to the second case. Like, don't go to that case of jewelry.
Yeah, it's like it's very like on the nose. Like, yes, this is a romantic gesture, but do I want it in the shape of a heart or an infinity symbol or literally anything besides just something that looks classic? No. And the thing is, like, it's so easy to go into Pinterest and just like type in like aesthetic gold necklace, and like what pops up will never be an interlocking heart necklace.
Also, even if you aren't fully like, if you're a man and you're listening to this and you're like, well, then what the fuck else do I get?
Literally
anything.
This is a plain silver chain from Amazon.
I'm saying you can go to like, I'm sure women have piles of jewelry. If they like jewelry at all, they have piles of jewelry. Like, it's never really like organized, or they have a spot where it's all going to be.
Right.
I think you take a picture of said jewelry, or you notice like the jewelry that she gravitates to the most that she puts on. Have pictures of it. If you're on a date and you take a picture together, and like the earrings and necklace is something she wears all the time, take that to the jeweler and be like, I want to get her a necklace. I want to get her earrings. This is what she typically wears. Can you point me in that direction?
Yeah.
Just don't walk in there clueless.
Yeah, because also, like, even if you're not even going to a jeweler, because I feel like a lot of people just buy shit from like Costco or whatever. Like, they go in there in the jewelry section.
No, like, but I'm saying like those like heart and infinity ring things.
Right.
Like, you like go to a jeweler. Jeweler. That's a hard ass word. It's really hard to say. Typically to get it.
Yeah, but like even like if she doesn't wear a lot of jewelry, like even just like look at her aesthetic, like her clothes, like what she's wearing, and then like you could literally go into like Google image search, throw that in there, and it's gonna pop up a bunch of suggestions. It does not take a lot of effort to figure it out.
Yeah, I feel like there's like, you can never go wrong with like something very basic.
Literally
very basic. Doesn't have to have a pendant on it, and if it does, it's like a diamond.
I feel like them buying us like a heart shaped whatever is like the same as like if we were to just like go buy like like a cross chain for them. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like, do you really want that? Or is it just like stereotypically what we think of when we think of like male jewelry?
You're not wrong.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or like a Cuban link.
I was like a Cuban link necklace.
Thick ass necklace. Like, and then it's like.
And like they're cute.
Yeah, but like it's not everybody's taste.
Right. So anywho, off of the jewelry part of it. So basically the shut up ring concept is you can look at someone and a relationship and know that the only reason they're getting married or they're getting engaged is because she's been pestering about it. And that's the next step that she wants. But he couldn't give a fuck if he ever married you. Okay? So first step, like Emily said, ring. I feel like what other ring options besides the Super Bowl ring?
The one that's like
the teardrop looking one.
Yeah, but not just a plain. Like, yeah, it has like stones like on the band too. Like, that one is very much.
I feel like anything looks like costume jewelry.
I was gonna say unnatural and like very much like something that you would get from like a jewelry
I also
store.
Feel like, what's the pink one's called?
Rose gold.
Yeah, I feel like that's also part of it.
Yeah, it's very much like they think girl and they think pink and they're like, this is it.
Yeah, like I mean, I think gold is just classic. Silver rings are also beautiful, but to me, like, yeah, stick with silver or gold.
Yeah, like a nice white gold or gold, like, you're good.
Yeah.
And then just like a simple stone. And I also think it's like very evident that a man picked out your ring too. If it's like, it just doesn't, like you were saying earlier, like it just doesn't match anything else that you have. And it's very much like, this is, you guys didn't consult on this. Because I think a big part about getting married, which like I said, not married, I wouldn't know. But I think a big part of it is like, it's like a joint conversation, and like you guys have already talked about the rings, and like you've already gone and like picked out the ones that like you're like, man, if we were to get married.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You know, I feel like if he genuinely wanted to marry you, he would have an idea. Because when I went with my sister's husband, like I had all of the pictures, because of course she's not going to send the pictures to him.
But some people even do, like they'll go together to get like it's
well, my mom and dad did. My mom and dad went together.
That's super normal.
And well, I'm pretty sure that they did. Or at least like maybe look at them, and I think he bought him like, well, he bought it like
that's
separate.
That's kind of what I'm saying.
But like my sister's husband like knew somewhat, but then I had actual pictures and knew exactly what she wanted. So like he picked out some stuff that were like, it looked very like Celtic. And like I was like, no, babe. No, maybe like a funsy ring, but like not for her engagement ring.
And then there's some girls though who are like, they like very eclectic looking things,
which is awesome.
But you'll know that even too in the ring, because like it'll still look like their vibe.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's, unless it looks like not even classic, but just looks like them, you're like, ooh.
Because like my cousin has a very like untraditional like wedding, like an engagement ring, and it's like a oh my god, what's the blue stone? Sapphire. It's like a super dark sapphire, like it's almost like black, and then it has like 2 diamonds on the side of it, and it's like silver, and it's very much like her vibe, very like vintage like jewelry looking, but it matches her like aesthetic and vibe.
But that's the thing, that's where it's like, okay. So anyway, coming off of like the jewelry part of it, the other way I feel like the other thing is like, first of all, if you've been begging for it for like a hot ass minute to like get engaged,
maybe I'm just like not that girl, but like I could not in my wildest dreams think about spending my life, the rest of my life, together with somebody who like I had asked to do that with.
I mean, I think like,
you know what I mean?
I think women are always going to bring the conversation up first, typically. Like,
really though? Because I feel like that's not like, I feel like a lot of it is like it's like a joint thing. Like we're just like, hey, we really love each other and like want to get married.
Yeah, but I'm saying like, I think that the girl will most likely bring it up first. Like at the end of the day, like I feel like I feel like you already know it, but like in order for like to hear them say it, I don't know. I don't think that that's like necessarily wrong, but I feel like if you've brought it up and he's literally been like, oh, I don't know, or like, no.
Yeah.
And then one day decides to, is like,
yeah.
Ugh. After you've asked him on multiple occasions. I'm not saying like one time you brought it up. I'm saying like, yeah, one time you might be like, oh, hey, so like,
what are we doing?
Yeah. And like, I don't know, especially like younger too. You never know. But I feel like if you bring it up one time and like you're on the same page after that conversation, that's completely different than him like kind of ignoring it or beating around the bush or telling you no. And then
it's like, remember that girl like forever ago, like Cody did a reaction video to it, and it was like she was like a race car driver and like her boyfriend was like also a race car driver, and then like they ended up, he like left his career to like help her out or whatever, or that's what she told everybody. And like she was in the car and she's like, you know, we've been together for 8 years and still no ring, and like posted the video on TikTok, and it was like so awkward and weird, and like that's what I'm saying, like they don't like you enough.
That's what I'm saying,
because like also
if you've been together for 10 years and he hasn't wanted to like marry you or bring it up or like already had like my sister and her husband were together for 10 years before they got engaged, but that was only because they
knew
met
for a really long time too, that they
met
to,
in
like,
college,
marry each other.
And she went back to college, and he already brought it up multiple times, and she was like, I just want to finish nursing school first, like let me get out of nursing school. So like
it's like, it's not like a bad thing that you're not married, because I also think that there's some people who just like never want to be married because like they don't care about that like principle or whatever, which is totally fine. But I think that has to be a mutual thing. And if one partner doesn't want it and the other one does, then there's they just don't like you enough, because like, you know what I'm saying? Like, because like for me, I obviously like one day would like to get married, but I also don't hate the idea of just like a life commitment without like the legal part of it. Like just because like, I don't know, like I have 2 parents who both were divorced, and like it's not that it's like a thing where I'm like scared, but it's like I get it being like who cares, like we're together. But like if you're not both on that same page, it's like
yeah, my thing is
I just don't think they
ring.
like you enough.
I just want to ring.
Yeah.
Like the legal document of it all is like whatever.
Yeah. But like I don't even care about like any of it. But if the other person does, then you need to care. You know what I mean? Like you can't not both be on the same page. And that's where it's like, I feel like when a guy is like, I don't really care to get married. It's like, well, I just don't think they like you enough.
I just don't think they care to marry you.
Right. Because that's what I'm saying. Like, I think if they did really, really love you, like they would do it.
Okay.
Because like I'm the same way. Like if my partner really wanted to get married, like I'd be like, okay, sure.
Yeah. If you also wanted to.
Right.
Yeah. No, exactly. I also think so, like, another thing for this, and I think this is a huge thing for, like, our generation now, because a lot of people have children without being married at this point. Mm-hmm. But, like, first of all, a kid's not going to solve you getting married. Because I think that if he doesn't...
I almost made a TikTok about this the other day about, like, it's always the people... I'm like, oh, I hate saying this because it's so generalized. Mm-hmm. And, like... whatever, come at me in the comments, I don't fucking care, but like it's always the people who don't need kids who fucking have kids at this point in our life.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like obviously later in life, whatever, but like it's always the people from like 20 to like 26 who are having babies who I'm like, you don't need to have a child, especially with the relationship that you're in right now. And it's like, I don't know. And I think a lot of the concept around children, we don't think of it as a lifetime commitment. And it's like, okay, but it's like not till they're 18. It's like till for forever. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like if you want to be a parent, like you're going to be a parent until the day you die.
But the thing is, like, but my thing is, I think a lot of women feel because they had a child with someone that they have to make that relationship work with somebody. Like your relationship with your child is the only thing that fucking matters.
Right.
Like if it ends up working like with the dad or not or whatever, like life will go on and that's okay. Mm-hmm. But as long as your relationship's solid with your kid, I feel like that's like the most valuable thing you can have. And I think that a lot of women, especially when they had kids like at a younger age, they're instantly like, well, this is my white picket fence fairy tale dream. Like I'm going to marry you and like we're going to have more kids together. But like he doesn't have to marry you just because you had kids.
Yeah.
And like,
or vice versa. Like you don't have to marry him just
because you had kids. And like, just because you've had 2 or 3 kids with him doesn't mean you got to get married. But I feel like that is like almost like, and I hate to come at like women, but like I feel like we automatically think, well, like, this is it.
Right, because of also it's like and
you have to do right by me because societal norms say.
Well, right, and as I was about to say, it's like because we live in a misogynistic land.
Yeah.
And like the rules of society are like, well, your job is to birth children and to be the home keeper, and your job is to go to work and do whatever. So marry me, and like then it'll be the perfect typical American family or whatever.
I feel like, I don't know, but I just feel like that's also kind of getting like a pity ring. Like you're getting one just because he's like, well, I guess I have to do right by you.
Yeah. Actually, you know what's another thing? And this is oh God, I hate talking shit on this because like I know we are nobody and we're losers and we have no relationships. But like another thing that I hate, and this is probably just internalized misogyny, like coming out. But like when the girl proposes to the guy in a heteronormative straight relationship, to me it gives the same vibe. It's like you're so desperate for them to marry you.
Yeah.
And like maybe it's not, and maybe that's just your relationship, and like you guys made
apparently
a joke
Barbara
about
Corcoran has asked every single one of her husbands that she's had to marry her.
The billionaire?
Yeah.
Well, she probably is a problem if she's had multiple husbands.
I think she's been married 4 times and she's asked every single one of them.
Yeah, that's a red flag.
I like saw something about her being like, they're like, well, how did he do it? She's like, no, honey, I did it for all of them.
Oh, yikes. I don't like that.
Yeah, me either.
But because also I feel like that's just like, and that's the thing. It's like in my brain because of internalized misogyny and the patriarchy, like the man is supposed to do it. And like he makes the decision. Like, and that's kind of where I go back to like, I don't think really the proposal of it all is that big of a deal. That's why I also go back to the picking out the ring. I'm like, I feel like if you're ready for marriage, it's just a it's a decision that you guys make together. Like, it doesn't need to be this grandiose like proposal or whatever. But I do find it very cringe when women propose to their boyfriends.
You know what? I also find it like really weird when you're like going through the process of getting married and the guy just like doesn't give a fuck, like low-key Justin Bieber vibes when like they're sitting there like picking out cake and he's like, is this almost done? Like, can I go? I'm like, if you want this too, like, why aren't you a part of it?
Yeah, no, and I hate that, like because
I feel like you can
like
tell on the day
mentality.
Yeah, because I feel like you can also tell on like the day of the wedding too, if it's like pure love that like they truly like want to be together, they're best friends and like couldn't be without each other, or it's like, well, this is just a check.
It's like a show.
Yeah, like this is a show and this is just like another checklist item for us because it's what she wanted and like blah 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 blah.
Yeah,
I feel like you can tell.
Yeah, you can totally tell, and like also part of that too is just like it's not fair either, because like it's just I hate that whole thing where it's like, oh well, I'm doing the wedding for you because you wanted the wedding, and it's like that's not fair, because like if you were doing it for me, you would help me like make decisions and be excited about it and like, you know, like get into it or whatever,
or have like certain things that you like really want there or whatever.
Right.
Like I know that my sister's husband didn't do nearly as much work as she did for it because it's just like how it's gonna be, but like he was super excited for it and like couldn't wait to be there and was like still involved, and then like even now like still be talking about it, like how excited he is, you know. So like
I don't know, it's just like it's very yes, it's evident. And also like on TikTok right now, there's so many videos of like people calling out men for just being like horrible and like actually hating their wives because of like how they act at the wedding. And it's like, it's so embarrassing. And also it's like a form of bullying and abuse that like I don't think is talked about enough, is like making fun of your partner in like a group environment in front of like their family and friends. Like I've seen so many of like grooms like destroying the cake, or like there was one where there was like a wedding like at their like it was like an outdoor venue that had like a pool, and the groom like pushed the bride into the water like in her wedding dress in her full makeup and everything.
I would be pissed.
And then he tried to like play it off and be funny and be like, everybody jump in the pool, but like he didn't give her the option to jump in the pool. He just shoved her in.
You
know what I'm saying? Like it's
so
like stuff
mad.
like that, but everybody was like, oh my God, that was so funny and hilarious. I'm like, that's abusive.
No, because I also feel like
you're making fun of them like on the most important day of their life so far.
Right, but the thing is like, is it? Like, this is the person you just married.
Yeah.
And also like, to me, that also shows that like you begged him for so long because you feel like you didn't deserve better. You and like, or like, yeah, your friends are getting married, or you feel like you're the last one to be like married amongst your friends. Because I feel like women like specifically also feel that way, like that like FOMO almost of like the planning and getting to have that day and like being like in that spot. Like they just, I don't want to say that they don't care, because I think that men don't care more. I think like when their friends start to get like engaged and like have babies and everyone else around them is like in that mode, they're like, oh,
I guess it's my time.
Next best option.
I guess everybody's a dad. I want to be a dad too.
Yeah, like
because guys have very much herd mentality.
Yeah,
they're so like, oh, the bros are doing it, like I'm gonna do it.
I'm not saying like the girls also be doing that too, but I do think to an extent, like if they're the last one of their entire friend group and family and whatever, like I think a lot of the time it's just like, well, that's just who he is.
Yeah. You know what's so funny too is like I've talked about this before with my friends. I don't know if I've talked about it on here. But like I've never experienced FOMO before, like ever in my whole life. And I don't have that feeling of like, shit, I should do this because everybody else is doing it. And I feel like it's a good thing, but it's also a bad thing, because like I feel like there's a lot of opportunities in life where it's like, maybe I should like try a little harder.
Yeah.
But like when it comes to the wedding and the kids, and also I think a lot of this has to do with the fact that I have a significantly older sibling that I watched do all of that. And like, not that I'm like scarred from it, but it also makes me like very much appreciate my singleness and my child-free lifestyle.
Yeah, no, that's definitely not a wrong thing to like
where it's
feel
like
or think.
When you have like a friend who has a kid or gets married, you don't see
it's not as
bad
yeah, it's not as
really
in your face.
It's a lot further removed. You're like, oh, I'm your mom's friend that I see like twice a month maybe. And it's not like, okay, you got to babysit the kids for the night while we go out, and they're your nieces, so they're gonna be fucking psycho.
I know. I definitely don't have FOMO about like that type of stuff.
Yeah,
I do get FOMO when like my friends from home are like hanging out or like doing stuff, and I'm like, damn,
I really wish I cared more. Like I genuinely do like wish that I like felt more, maybe like jealousy or something, like, because I really think that it has kind of put me in like a boring position, because I'm like, I don't care to really make plans or like do anything when I see other people doing it, because like I don't know, I've just never like felt that, like even in college too, like people would be like I feel like shit, I just don't want to go out, but like everybody's going out, so like I should. I never was like
I
that.
was never like that either.
I'm like, y'all have fun, I'm gonna like, literally my 21st birthday I got fucking like the stomach flu, and all of my friends were like, puke and rally, you can do it. I'm like, it's not that deep for me. Like I really don't even care. Like I appreciate you guys so much for like making a shot book and like getting a cake and like doing all of this stuff and decorating. Like that is the nicest thing ever, but that's all I really needed was the gesture. Like I'm not even that sad that I'm missing out on the partying part. Like you guys have fun. Yeah. They're like, are you sure we can still go out? I'm like, I don't fucking care. Like I can't help that I can't stop shitting myself and throwing up. Like, go enjoy the night. Like, whatever. Take those Drake Jello shots that you made.
Like, thanks, but no thanks. Yeah, no, I'm not really like, I don't really have FOMO in that sense, but like definitely, like, I don't know. Sometimes my at-home friends or like my family doing stuff. Like they all like went to the beach this past weekend together, and I was like,
I was about to say, you know what I get FOMO is like when I see people traveling.
Yeah,
that gives me
but
FOMO.
It's only like because I know that if I was at home I also would have been at the beach with my whole family, like my sister and her husband and my parents like all went to the beach, and like it was just like the weekend, but still I was like, damn,
yeah,
that would have been kind of fun. But like I didn't dwell in it, like it didn't like ruin my day or a weekend or time that I was having. It was just like oh
yeah, but never once have I gotten FOMO of somebody in a relationship ever. And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that like and not to talk shit on my own friends, but I seem to become, and I think it's because I'm like chronically single, but I seem to become the like dumping ground for all the bad stuff that happens in people's relationships, like as like the therapy couch kind of vibe. And I've kind of been like that my whole life for everybody in my life. And I think it's like the middle child in me of just like everybody's always like dumped shit on me, but like even with my friends, their relationships, it's like, no offense, but like y'all make me never want to date anybody.
Also, okay, but this is like a PSA. Like your friends are there to like love and support you and uplift you, but they do not need to know every detail of your relationship. Like just because he was mean to you a little bit, like it's part of it. Like I'm sorry, you're two different people. Yeah, like two different people are not always gonna be on great terms, and they're not gonna always like be laughing and whatever. Like you're two different people. Like also, I don't need to know about it.
Yeah, I think another thing too with relationships is like I know the version of you who is friends with me, but I don't know the version of you who is a romantic partner to somebody. So like of course I'm always going to take your side and support you because like you're my friend and like I know how you are as a friend, but like you could be a fucking horrible partner and I wouldn't know any better. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Well, that's like Zach and I, like we always say, like he'll be telling me stories about like whatever and like his friends too, and I'm like, but this is the thing, like you just have to put it into perspective of like what you're willing to put up with, and that's it. Like I can't give you advice. Yeah, I can't tell you what to do. Also, I'm too grown to tell you what to do. I don't really like care, but like, are you willing to put up with that behavior? Yeah. If the answer is yes, then like talk to him about it. Yeah. And like figure it out. Therapist. No, figure it out between you guys, because like if you're willing to put up with it but like need to get over it or whatever, like you need to talk to him about it, not me. Yeah. But if you're not willing to put up with it, then you need to let him go. Like there's like, you got two options. Yeah. And like
also it's like I just know I've been so single for so long that like anytime anybody talks to me about like wanting to break up with their partner, I'm like, yeah, you should just break up with them. And they're like but it's really hard and like, you know, I still love them and whatever. And I'm like, just break up with them. They're like, I can't. And I'm like, just do it. I don't, what do you mean you can't?
You're
because
bullying them.
Yeah, because literally, because like I haven't been in a relationship in forever. So like in my head, I'm like, oh, it can't be that hard. Like, I have no sympathy, and I'm so bad about it too. And like, I'm like, I don't know. I just am like, I am your enemy. Like, all of my friends' partners, I am their enemy, because like I will always tell them to break up with their boyfriend, even if they're awesome.
It's like all of those like TikToks where it's like me at my friend's wedding, like eating the cake.
Yeah, with the guy I told to break up with like 10,000 times.
Like, that's gonna be Emily.
And I'm sorry, but like, I don't know. I'm just like, at the end of the day, like, I'm for the girls. So like, when I do hear shit that you talk, I'm just gonna tell you to leave them every time.
Yeah.
Like, even if it's not that deep, I'm still like, you could probably do better.
Yeah, but again, that's why that's where Zach and I are like, what are you willing to put up with?
Yeah.
That's why we say it that way, because it's like, I'm not gonna tell you what to do because I can't.
Right.
But like, what are you willing to put up with? Because if it's not this, then bye bye.
Yeah.
But if it is, then like, I'm not gonna judge you because it's not my life.
Right. Exactly.
But like,
that's also the thing too. Is like, I think a lot of times people are like afraid to like tell their friends that they're either like getting back together with somebody who like they used to talk shit on to their friends or whatever, or like somebody that their friend was like, you should break up with them, and then they get back together with them, and then they like are scared to tell you, or they like are fearful of like what you'll think. It doesn't affect my life either way. Yeah. I'm gonna be honest. So like, he could be not the greatest, but like, if it's in your best interest for your mental health or for you to like get back together with him, like, I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care that much.
Yeah.
And not in a mean way, but in a way where it's like, I'm not gonna resent you for it. I just like don't really care because it's not my life.
Yeah.
You know?
Have you ever watched the show Bridezillas?
Was it on TLC? What was that on? Or Bravo? It was like some.
It wasn't on. It was on like WeTV. No. Something like off-brand.
I watched like a few random
because
episodes.
I feel like all of those people had like shut up rings. If I'm being completely honest, I was just thinking about
There's no other reason for you to be so angry about everything.
Like, I was just thinking about it. I was like, because he doesn't like you.
Yeah, I don't like you, and your friends don't like you. You suck.
But that's where I'm like, okay, so I feel like that's all sucks. But like, we were talking about like before this episode, we like got on here, like, there's like two main things that like are a reason why a man will marry you. One is because he's your best friend, or two, because he can go and like live his life and like you're gonna deal with a lot of his shit. But I feel like that's all those people in Bridezillas have dealt with a lot of shit that their man has done. So then they're like, oh, I gotta marry you because you've put up with a lot. So like, you're clearly like a ride or die. But at the end of the day, I'm still gonna go do whatever the fuck I want.
Yeah.
Because half of those men like cheated on them in the episode.
Yeah.
like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I feel like that's like one of those things where like, he's like, well, I gave you what you wanted.
Yeah.
You wanted a wedding.
Right.
And I still don't like you. But here we are.
That's just so sad. Like, you know what I mean? Like, do better for yourself. Like, honestly, like, your worth is not determined by anybody else on the planet ever. Like, the only time that your worth is determined by somebody else is when it's your child deciding whether or not you are a good parent. That's it. Other than that, it doesn't fucking matter. And like, you are only as good as what you deem yourself to be. And so like, to be so dependent on another person for validation and for like your own existence is really sad.
No.
And especially when that person doesn't fucking like you.
To see like,
and it's really depressing.
Anybody, like the anxious like attachment styles and all that kind of stuff. And like,
I
mean, I don't know. I maybe it's just me because of like who we are as people. Like, we're both very independent people, and like I fully believe like in and out of relationships we will be independent people. It's just like who we are.
Well, also like we've become independent.
That's very true.
At the hands of shitty people.
That's true.
And we've had to like basically wake up and put in the work and stop getting our validation from people.
Because I was talking about this with a girl yesterday at work, and it's just like, it's so sad to see so many people that are like just so dependent, like at an older age too, like just so dependent on having somebody in their life, or having to like, or feel like their worth is no longer there because like they need to have a provider or someone to take care of them, or like that, like they don't want to almost like use their own brains, like and it goes both directions. Like I just think it's so sad to see that. Like I don't think I ever really realized it at a younger age, but like the more I see it, and maybe it's also like where I work now, being so like whatever, I just feel like I don't know.
I know. Well,
it's so sad to see.
It is sad. And I feel like it kind of goes into that whole concept, which I think is being very portrayed right now, especially like on social media, like on TikTok, where it's like a girl or a guy. This goes both ways, but it's like a person who is always in a relationship, like the moment they get out of one. Like they're never single for like at least a year. Yeah. Or like at least 8 months or whatever. It's like within like weeks or like 2 months, like they're seriously dating somebody else. And like an example of this is like Brianna Chicken Fried.
Oh
and
my
like,
God, yeah.
It sucks that her business is out there on the internet, and it's like, but also she chooses to make her relationships part of her content. So it's kind of like, it's a double-edged sword, because it's like, yes, you're sharing this with people and like it's validating for you and your love, but the moment that you get out of that and get into something else, people are like, whoa.
Well, because also the way that she was sharing about like her other boyfriend that she just broke up with, like Nick, her first boyfriend that she had on social media, like she definitely was like, didn't really like him by the end, and you could tell it. She was talking about it, like whatever.
Right.
But her last boyfriend that she had was like, I would marry this man. He's the best thing that ever happened to me. He's like all of these things. And then they break up, and she's like, I don't understand why people want to know.
Right.
Why people don't want to know. Like, babe, you literally acted as if you were getting married to him next week.
Yeah.
And now you're dating Zach Bryan or whatever his name is.
Which apparently everybody knows who the fuck that is. I didn't know who the fuck that is. And they're like, he sings the Orange song. And I'm like, what the fuck is that? I don't even know. I can't. It says the word orange in it. I don't know. Apparently it was like a TikTok viral song, and so everybody knows it. But I don't know.
He's not that cute.
Hey, I didn't say it.
Because people are like obsessed with him, and I'm like, for what?
He's giving very much average. Okay, the thing is, he looks like every single guy who lives here.
Yeah, I think that's why I just am like, what's the hype?
Like, just go walk down any random road in Nashville, and you're
gonna see 20.
Yeah, I was about to say 17 people who look exactly like
that. I don't think he looks special at all.
No,
and I don't think he has an amazing singing voice. And don't come at me for it. Like, people be loving on him, and I'm like, for what? I just don't see it.
I don't. Well, and that's the thing. Like, I didn't even know who he was. And then when he was on like BFFs, and they're like, "You're dating Zach Bryan," I had to Google. I said, "Who is Zach Bryan?" Like, who are they? And then it was like, he was like, the TikTok viral sound Orange song. I gotta figure out what it's called. It's not the Orange song. It's like the Orange.
No,
something.
I don't think that he's that cute. But like, honestly, it's sad to like I was so shocked because I didn't even know that she broke up with her old boyfriend.
Oh my God! Wait, talk about TikTok breakups. Do you follow Anna Paul?
I saw, but I didn't know them before their breakup, to be honest with you.
Dang, okay, never mind.
Well, I saw like the tea though. I'm like, what happened and why they're not together.
Well, did you see that it was like all fake? Like all of those screenshots and stuff talking about Glenn like cheating on her. Looks like some fucking psychotic person like just made up all of those and like posted them on some fake ass account.
That's
and,
what
like,
I saw.
Yeah, like it wasn't real. Something in the Orange. That's what it's called.
Something in the Orange song.
I was like, the Orange song, something orange. No, he's not cute.
No, he looks like a military country boy.
It's giving ROTC, like for real.
I literally have a friend that looks exactly like that,
and he lives here.
Yeah, he lives here. So like, I mean,
take that as it is.
So you girls want a man that looks
literally
the Walmart version of Zach Bryan.
I wouldn't say the Walmart version. I
Target.
feel like they both kind of just
they like resemble each other, and they have the same style,
the same vibe. Yeah, like I feel like they're just
they
could be cousins.
He can't sing.
He can't sing, but he was in the military.
He was in the ROTC.
So if that's your cup of tea,
so
good for you. It's not mine.
Welcome to Nashville, baby.
Yeah, Anna and Glenn broke up, and it was basically like the internet broke because like they were like the one couple that everybody's like, oh,
they were
like,
together for like 10 years,
and they're very like aspirational couple for people to like look up to. But like, yeah, when I saw that, I was like, yeah, there's no hope for anybody.
See, but like I don't understand that, because my thing is like they got together at such a young age, and like
totally.
my biggest thing about that, like I don't know, my parents have been together since high school, and like good for them, but I've watched them go through like ups and downs of that relationship, because it's like you change so many times as a human that like if I had to have married my high school boyfriend, I wouldn't necessarily be mad about it because he was like a sweetheart, but like at the end of the day, the person that I was then is not the person I am now. And like having to go through those changes in a relationship, I just couldn't imagine.
Yeah, no.
And like,
well, and like, I feel like you really wouldn't fully go through the changes because of that.
Right.
And it's like, it's really normal to like also not even be attracted to the same type of person that you were attracted to then too.
No, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Like even I just sexually, like I can't imagine like still wanting to like have sex with that person.
Right. Like I just feel like, not that it's like boring or whatever, because like you can find ways. Like again, my parents have been together for literally ever, but like I just feel like, okay, even my parents too. When I went to college, like my parents were like, oh fuck, like we have to like each other again. We have to like date each other again. We have to like figure out who each other is again without children, like being in the way of all of that and like whatever. So I just, again, being together for 10 years.
Yeah.
I mean, my sister and her husband have been together for now 13 years. And like,
yeah,
I've seen that too. Like the hardships of like her changing and like her wanting to have a new aesthetic that like wasn't this like cute little sports girl like when he met her. And like that at first was like, not that he never told her no, but like that was a hard thing for him. And then like they went through like a stage of like being vegan to like eating meat again. And I know like those are like very like minuscule things, but like to have to like be with someone through like
it's still
all
personality change.
Yeah, like you know what I mean? Like I feel like it's a lot. And I feel like you aren't meant to be with someone from the age of 14 for forever.
Well, especially because I think the main reason for that is like your frontal lobe, like the part of your brain that makes decisions for you, is not fully developed.
Right.
So like the fact that like your brain isn't fully developed yet, it doesn't make sense for you to like have the same interests or like the same things or do whatever that whole time. Like it makes sense for you to change and evolve and whatever. So like, I mean, even like our friendship, like we've only been friends for like a little over 2 years, and like I've completely changed the person that I am. You know what I mean? And like, and not that like that's normal, because a lot of people don't do a fucking
but 2 years changes a lot of things.
Yeah, but I'm just like looking at the person I was like when I first moved to Nashville versus now is like,
oh my God,
I'm unrecognizable, A, appearance wise, and B, just like the things that I'm into, what I talk about, what I like spend my time thinking about, like even like the aesthetics that I'm like attracted to or whatever is slightly different than when I got here. It's not totally different, but like I don't know, like I have like a different version of the person that I'm into now. Yeah. And so like I don't know, even like that with it's like 2 years.
Right, but like that's what I'm saying. Like, and that's okay. But I also think like one, being with a partner, it's harder to do that, like you already said. And two, like who cares if you want to go and like discover other people and like other versions of yourself and more things. And like it's so sad that like, you know, their relationship ended, because of course it is. Like that's always a sad thing, regardless if it's a friendship or relationship or one with your parents. Like it doesn't matter. Like it's still really hard. But like I feel like it's okay. And like to have that much pressure too is like
on the internet.
It's so hard. Yeah. It's so hard. But I feel like people, even in like without being on the internet, have that pressure of being like, okay, well, we've been together for 10 years and we had a kid together and like we have to make this work and like you have to be my end all be all.
Yeah.
Like, it legitimately doesn't have to be that way.
Yeah. Or even like once you are married, like, well, we got to make this work because, you know, divorce isn't an option. It's like, yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is. It's perfectly fine to say, you know what, we tried our fucking best and we had a great 6 years or 10 years or whatever, and like it's time to move on.
And that's not to say that we, like, for someone who's listening being like, oh, well, it's easy for you to say because you're not in it, blah, 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 blah. Don't get me wrong, but I agree with you on that end of it, but I also can sit here and tell you that like I know a relationship, if you want it to work, is extremely hard work. Like it's not easy, and like you're gonna have a lot of like trials and tribulations throughout that time, but like it's also okay if you completely evolve into a new person and like you just look at this person, you're like, I don't even know why I like you anymore. Like I think it's also okay to then be like, it's okay to get divorced. Like I don't think that's a problem, but I don't want you to be like, well, you don't know at all, because it's like it is hard.
It is hard, but I also don't think that there's enough conversation that normalizes the fact that like getting a divorce isn't failure. I feel like there's a lot of conversation, especially because of religion that makes divorce this horrible thing.
You know, and I'm gonna
you're
say
a failure of a person because you did it. You're going against God. Like, I'm sorry. If God is real, he wants you to be fucking happy. And if your husband makes you miserable as living shit,
or your wife, it could go either way.
He would rather you get the fuck out of there, or she, or they, or
right,
the being in the sky. I don't know.
Like, I don't know. I feel like life is actually like it's over in a blink of an eye, and like if you're not happy,
it's so not worth being miserable.
No,
yeah,
like go out and have fun and be with the person that like you want to be with, and that could be 7 different people in your whole lifetime that like you fall in love with, and that I feel like that's okay.
Yeah,
like who cares?
Yeah, like it's not that deep, and also like I said earlier, back to the whole like if you break up with your boyfriend and you get back together with them, and you're like people will be judgy and rude or whatever, but like at the end of the day they don't really give a fuck. So like if you're scared to do it too because of judgment or whatever, it's like okay, but then like it doesn't affect their life, so like they're not gonna really care that much. And like, or if you don't want to disappoint your parents, like I promise you, if your parents are good people or your family is good people or your friends are good people, like they would much rather you be happy than to stay in something that makes you fucking miserable. And like I don't know, and this is like coming from somebody who like I have had like a very fortunate upbringing of like my parents never pressuring me to be in a serious relationship or never pressuring me to like have kids at like an early age or whatever. Like they've been awesome about that. But I think a lot of that comes from the fact that like they both had failed marriages before with other people, and like they know it's not worth rushing into anything that you're not like ready for. And also they know like it's okay to fail. And to like, and it's not even failure, but like, you know what I mean?
I had that with my parents too, but my parents have been together for so long. And I think that they also recognize that like, it's really difficult to be with someone for that long. Yeah. And like still want to love each other and be with each other and all of that, which like
choose every
they very
day
much do, which is like a huge thing for me is like going in or like looking in relationships or like to be in one and all of that stuff.
Right. It's like you see that.
I see
it's possible.
Like, my parents like still to this day like love each other and go on dates and have that time for each other and like make an effort. And then I also look at my sister and her husband who are like, you would think that they just met yesterday. Right. And I'm like, so I don't want anything less. Yeah. And like, I mean, I don't think that anyone deserves anything less, but like for me that might just be skewed then to like be in a relationship. Right. But like, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I agree. And so I don't know. This whole episode is kind of just like anti-marriage talk, but like honestly, like I just think there's no need to do something that like both of you guys aren't on the same page for.
Right. But I also think this is supposed to be like an empowering thing for you too, to be like, don't settle for less. And like, if you feel like you are, fix it. But also you might be looking at your partner right now and be like, damn, I have someone that's good. Who like wants to be around me and wants to marry me and wants to have all these things with me and not just like, I have to beg him to take the trash out and do all this extra bullshit. Like, I don't know.
No, but oh my God, like that just pissed me
I feel like it goes both. I feel like this episode goes both ways. Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, totally.
But anyway, thank you guys for listening to another episode of Society 97. My name is Kellen K. You can find me at Kellen K on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube.
And I'm Emily. You can find me on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube at Starnsy. Don't forget to follow the podcast on Instagram. We're at society97.pod, where you guys can DM us whenever you want. If you have episode ideas or you just want to chit chat, hit us up over there. We're also on TikTok at society97pod with no dot, where we post clips from the show.
We also have our YouTube channel. Sorry. We also have our YouTube. I was like swallowing spit as I started talking. We also have our YouTube channel where we post the video version of the podcast every single Friday and vlogs every single Tuesday. So make sure to like, subscribe, turn on post notifications, comment over there. We love hearing from you guys. And we'll talk to you later. Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.